Hi, I'm Anthony and this is Bob Barker, and today we're going to take this closet from this to this. So let's get started. So for this project, I just went down to the box store and got a new sheet of plywood, and since I was there, I had to cut it down on their panel saw to 3 different pieces that were 16 inches each. Saved me the hassle from when I got home. Then I gathered up some scraps that I had from other projects to use on this one. So for here, I'm cutting those down to make some of the supports for the shelves. And these shelves are going in my wife's office closet, and she specifically wanted 3 shelves, so that's what we're going to give her. And the size of the shelves was determined by some containers that she already purchased, and that she's going to be storing some of the stuff that's already in there to keep it a little bit more organized. So for this one, I'm using some other scrap pieces I had for some of the longer supports just to break those down. And I cringe every time I see this miter saw footage there. I've already made the miter station, and that's actually going to be my next video, so you won't be seeing me use it like that anymore. And right here, we're breaking down the shelves to the right sizes using the guides that we made in our last video, and they're already coming in very handy. So check that video out if you're interested in making these for yourself. Next, we move on to more cringeworthy miter saw footage of me cutting down all the trim pieces that's going to be going in front of the shelves. And then we get to paint. And I definitely didn't want to paint this in place because it's just going to be too awkward getting into those tight spaces. And we went with white because that's what she asked for. I ended up doing 2 to 3 coats depending on whether the surface was going to show or not. So after that's done and dried, now we're ready to get things installed. So to start off in here, I'm just measuring out where I want the shelves to sit. And we're spacing these out about 15 3/4 inches apart, and the first one starts about 20 inches from the ground. That gives plenty of room for the containers that she got. And next we mark out the locations of all the studs for when we're going to install our supports. So for these supports, I'm going to line them up with the marks that I've made. I'm kind of transferring there where the stud locations are, just so a little extra to make sure I don't miss. And we're going to make sure everything is nice and level, and then we can start screwing them in place. I ended up doing 2 screws in each stud and double checked multiple times to make sure everything is nice and level. And after that's in, then we repeat the process for the other 2 shelves. I wish I was actually this fast when I'm putting my projects together. So after we got the back supports on, then we're going to do these side supports, and it's the same exact process. I did check where the studs were and made sure to screw into those and make sure everything is level. And next we get an amazing shot of my back end arm in the way as I'm trying to cut the notch here to go around the baseboard for the center divider. If you didn't have enough of my right arm, I just threw the left one in there too, apparently. And then once I got that notch cut out, I just kind of cleaned up that little rounded edge with the jigsaw. And then we're also cutting a notch on the top that goes around the support for the existing shelf that we're leaving in place. And one more shot where you can't see anything that I'm doing. Really good, right? Okay, quick aside. One thing that I've noticed with the videos that I've been doing lately is I really need to improve my respiratory protection. I see the videos with all the dust coming in my face, and that's just not a good thing. You don't want to be breathing all that in. So the people at BaseCamp actually sent me some masks and just asked me to give an honest opinion of what I think about them. So I've been using them on a few projects, and I actually really like these masks. They have like an elastic mesh material that is hand washable. They have activated carbon filters that last for about 30 hours. One-way valves inside and an adjustable nose piece, ear straps, and a Velcro. And they're really comfortable to wear. With this one-way valve, it gets the moisture, humidity out, so it doesn't feel heavy on your face. And I can wear them for a long time, and it doesn't really bother me. And the filters will get out to 0.1 micron. That has like 6 layers to take care of everything. And that's more than enough for anything that you're gonna be kicking up in the shop. And this is the 3rd generation product, so they have been continuously trying to improve it, which is nice to know. So very nice, comfortable mask for your shops. If you're interested, I'll have a link below. All right, back to the project. Okay, so now that we got those notches cut out, you can see there where it goes. We're gonna get this into place, and I'm just kind of loosely putting it there, and then we're going to secure everything together once I get the shelves in. And don't ask me why I didn't move that dresser before I did this. Sometimes I just like to make things hard on myself. And of course, you do want to check to make sure this is nice and straight as well. So now that I have that in place, I'm putting these extra supports in on the other side so it's supported on all sides for the shelves. And once we got all three of them in place, then we can go ahead and get our shelves in place. We just go ahead. Initially, we're just going to set this down, but the wife specifically did not want these to be adjustable or movable. She wanted them to not move at all, so I'm going to secure them with screws all over the place. And that's a piece of trim that we're going to use to make it look a little nicer. So for here, like I said, I wanted to make sure nothing was going to move, so I'm making this divider piece screwed directly into the shelf and into the back supports back there. And then we're securing the other side down into the supports. And later on, I do go in all of these screw holes and these brad nails, we kind of fill them up and then just touch up the paint so you won't see them. And a few more trim pieces up front, and we're entering the home stretch. One other thing that I did do is I cut down the closet rod and used the existing hardware and just screwed it onto my divider. That way the whole thing is still in there to hang things if she wants. And so here we see the finished project before I put the doors back on, and also with the containers that she put all her stuff in. And that's it. It's a quick and easy project that can get you more usable storage in your closet. We'll see you guys on the next one.